Okay, you've lived here for a while. You've been in town for a while.
3 weeks is a while.
Well,
Dang.
more than ever. I wondered, what is the craziest Caitlin Clark thing you have seen? Has there been like a life-size cutout of you somewhere? Any fans like rushing to you?
Have you seen the new Gatorade thing on the side of the hotel? That's pretty cool.
Okay.
I don't know, there's just a lot of people that are very aware. Like, I don't know, like even when I have my hood up, like people still know who I am and are just so excited about our team and, you know, this summer. So I would say that's the biggest thing is like, I didn't really know what to expect coming here, like how aware people would be or how many people would recognize me, but really it hasn't changed at all from Iowa City. Like you can tell just the excitement and the buzz around the city of, you know, for this team, for myself, it really hasn't changed in any regard. So I think that's honestly been something that's been an adjustment, but it's also been super cool to see how invested people are in the Indiana group.
Cassandra Negley with Yahoo Sports. I'll follow your lead here. You and Erica have talked a lot about your relationship with each other. Now that games are underway, how have you leaned on her, or how has she reached out to you in this time?
I think she's just been somebody that's like just always been in my ear, asking how I'm feeling, asking how I'm doing, whether it's basketball wise, whether it's adjustment wise, off the court. You know, that's something I'm super grateful for. I think on the court wise, getting and playing together more will be more beneficial as we go on. I think it's an interesting dynamic of like us kind of both playing the one at the same time when we're on the court together, like who's gonna bring the ball up, who's not gonna bring the ball up, who's gonna get it on dead balls, who's gonna get it in transition. So I think that's a learning period of just playing with each other. You know, it's hard to develop that over the course of 2 weeks, and that goes for everybody on this team, but I think the biggest thing is she's just always checking on me, but that goes for every single person on this team. Like she's always the one that's checking in and making sure you're okay and seeing how your mind is. And you know, she knows I have a lot on my shoulders, and she wants to be, you know, helpful to me in any way. So I really appreciate it.
Scott, go ahead.
Caitlin, what stood out to you watching the film? And secondly, in general, what do you do when you review a game? How do you break down your clips? What do you like to look at?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot stood out. I think the biggest thing is like their physicality and what they did just literally took us out of our entire game. Like we didn't do what we had practiced for 2 weeks. Like once things got a little bit hard, we got a little frantic and we didn't really quite know how to respond. And I think we really showed our youth. You know, there was never a moment where like we were physical back or we were tough back. Like there wasn't much mental toughness from any of us or physical toughness. And you know, that's what Connecticut's defense is going to do to you. They're just going to be physical. They're going to try to take you out of your actions. But I think just being physical back, I think setting up cuts, using cuts better, I think obviously taking care of the ball, and just like overall just some uncharacteristic things. And to me, like there's also positive too, like we didn't play very good, but like we cut it to 6 in the third quarter. Like there were still opportunities for us to be right there, be with them, and obviously it ended up being 21, but there was a lot of moments of like we kept fighting, like we never gave up, we played hard. It was never a fact of like our effort wasn't there. It's like we played hard, but you know, they were just better than us. And I think that it's a good punch in the mouth. It's a good way to look in the mirror and find ways to get better. But at the same time, I felt like there were glimpses of, you know, we could be really good in certain areas. It's just like you got to clean little things up, and everything that we did wrong was very fixable as well.
Shaquille Brewster here with NBC News. Caitlin, we talked to fans who are taking PTO to see you, who are driving in hours to see you. Are you aware of those stories, and how do you relieve some of the pressure that might put on?
For sure, like I've always said that, like people are sacrificing a lot to spend, you know, money to get here, spend resources to get here, or travel, or pay for their young daughter or their young son to come and watch us and support us, or buy our jerseys, or buy, you know, whatever merchandise it is. So I think it's like, I understand it because I was that young girl, and that's like what my parents did too. You know, they were working parents. They would take time off to try to help me do something that I loved to do or enjoyed to do, and I always wanted somebody's jersey as well. So, I mean, I'm very aware of it, and you know, that's why I didn't miss a single game in college. Like I knew people were coming and wanting to support and watch me. Like for me, it was never an option to not play a game if I felt a little beat up, if I felt a little under the weather. You know, people get so excited to come to these games and are spending a lot of their time and money. So, I mean, I think first of all, just being aware of it and, you know, enjoying that and trying to make time for as many people as you can, but also like give it everything you got. Like, these people are coming for a show, and not everything's going to be perfect, but just try to play with the same joy and fun that you've always have.
Don, go ahead.
Hey Caitlin, Dominic Miranda, WTHR. Just, you got the first one out of the way, just your mindset playing here at home in front of this crowd and the embrace that you and your teammates will get tonight in the home opener.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Obviously, I think the crowd's going to be really good. We're going to need to use it to our advantage. Obviously, the Liberty is a really good team. Our schedule is not easy by any means, but when you're in this league and there's 12 teams, like, everybody's good all across the board. Like, you have to show up every single night. So, but I think the biggest thing is, like, we played on Tuesday and it wasn't exactly what we wanted, but we get to come back tonight on our home court and have an opportunity to play better, to learn, to fix things. Not everything's gonna be perfect again. This is only our second game. We've got a young group, but as long as we're learning and continuing to get better, that's what's gonna be positive for us. But like you said, I think just embracing the crowd, enjoying it, and soaking it in is gonna be a lot of fun for our entire group.
On back to Owen.
Owen Seaman from KGN. You didn't have a whole lot of tight turnarounds like this in college, outside of maybe like the Big Ten tournament or a couple of postseason tournament games. But since your first regular season game a couple nights ago, what have been some of the biggest things you focused on, either with your game or mentally, or some of the things you've kind of focused on to try to improve over the last couple of days?
Yeah, I think, you go back and you watch a lot of film, whether that's, the team film that you watch, whether you watch the game back by yourself, whether, that's individual breakdown film, like with your coach. And then obviously we got on the court and practiced, and I think it was almost positive. Like, you don't have time to sulk, you don't have time to do whatever. You watch the film and you put it to the side and you take what you learned and go put it on the court and try to implement it for our next game. And I think obviously recovery and taking care of your body, like, this is my job now, this is what I do 24/7. I don't really have to worry about anything else. So I think those are the biggest things, is like, you more so have to learn from the film of, the past game, and then obviously watching your next opponent more than you're on the court practicing and getting better. It's a lot more mental preparation than probably physical in college.
Staying back there, center.
Hi Caitlin, Jack Leader with KCRG. You've talked about the physicality of the game as the biggest thing you've had to adjust to. Is there anything else, maybe the second biggest thing you're adjusting to as you've learned as being a professional women's basketball player? That could be on the court or off the court.
Obviously the physicality is definitely up there. I think I let people be physical with me, so that's probably something that I need to be working on. I think, like, when I'm running off of screens, like, I'm easily pushed off of screens. I don't know. The game probably seems a little fast for me right now. I think the more I play and the more comfortable I get, it's going to slow down a little bit. It'll be easier for me to make reads and kind of see things develop, but things are definitely moving fast, but that's how this game moves. So I think just the more experience I get, things will slow down. I'll be able to, set things up better, run actions better. So I'd probably say those two things.
Go third row there.
Eric Graves with Fox 59. You mentioned the 3 weeks just in Indy so far, walking around with your hood up. Have you had any time to settle into this city at all, do anything around town, or has it just been all basketball?
No.
Do you look
Not really. I
forward
heard
down
the
that
zoo is
time?
really good, though. Is the zoo good?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of the best events of the year is like
Zoobilation.
Zoobilation. Yeah, Zoobilation. So maybe I'll hit up Zoobilation. I don't know. They're getting new chimpanzees or something. Is that true? That's what I heard. I'm like, maybe I have to go see them, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
You're putting yourself in a position that now you're going to be doing some sort of ribbon cutting at the zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoobilation is about to have an all-time high of people that want to
It just happened.
It's a good fundraiser. Oh, it already happened?
I think so.
I miss
No.
Zoobilation.
I think so, didn't it?
It hasn't happened yet.
That was rad. It was rad.
No, I heard I had a VIP ticket. Yeah.
Strickens on the record.
Yeah.
Caitlin, what I was actually going to ask you is, there was so much made last offseason, going into your last year at Iowa, that you put on 8 pounds of muscle, right? And we're talking about how physical the game is. You can't really just go live in the weight room right now because you got to play. But have you had conversations with the Fever Strength and Conditioning people about how you can change your body, and ultimately, like, would you like to put on X amount more muscle? Because your mom is also really, really thin. So.
Yeah, my mom's always telling me to eat more too. She texted me this morning and said, you better eat a lot of food today, so fuel your body. But I don't know, I think, like you said, like, that's not something I can really worry about a ton right now. And I think our main focus with the strength and conditioning is just maintaining where I am right now. Like, I definitely can't lose what I already have. And then once this off season comes, like, that'll probably be one of my primary focuses, is just, gain more strength. Somebody I'd love to watch is Steph, and like just even like him, like he's strong. Like he might be a little bit small, but he is a really strong guy. So I think that'll definitely be something that'll be important for me to evolve over the course of my pro career. But like you said, it's hard right now. So I think the biggest thing for me is just like maintaining where I am, and then once I get to the off season, I definitely, want to be able to put on a lot more muscle.
Go in front.
Caitlin, Scott Sable from KCRG. We heard your initial reaction, but what is your reaction as you think about Lisa retiring and Jan taking over?
Yeah, I'm happy for Coach Bluder that she can kind of do it on her terms and like go out on a high. Obviously what we were able to do over the course of the last 4 years, but even before that, when they had Megan and Kathleen and Sam Logic, like it just kept feeling like this thing was continuing to build, and she felt like this was the right time to step away, and I'm glad she was content enough to do that. She'll be here tonight, and same with Coach Jay, and really there was no other option in the world. This has been Coach Jay's job. Whenever Coach Bluder decided to hang it up, it was going to be Coach Jay's, and I think that is absolutely the right decision. She's ready for it. She's one of the best humans I've ever been around. One of the best encouragers. Obviously, she's one of the best post coaches our game has ever seen. So I think it just adds a lot of stability to the people that are going to stay on the coaching staff, but also the girls that are in the locker room, the recruits that we have. It adds a lot of comfort there when maybe a lot of them didn't know if Coach Bluder was going to stay or leave or what the situation was going to be. But more than anything, I'm just happy for the both of them. I've been seeing like pictures and stuff, and I told my parents last night, I'm like, I can't believe Coach Jay is our head coach now. Like, it's just like so weird to think about, but definitely deserving and happy for her. And I hope Coach Bluder, I know she'll probably enjoy quite a few glasses of wine now, as she should. So I'm just happy for the both of them.
During the game tonight, right?
Honestly, yeah, for sure she will.
Last two ago, Tony and Matt.
Caitlin, how has your film watching process evolved over the years from college to now? Are you more honed in on mistakes or things that went well? And what's different about that in the pros through your first game?
Yeah, I think over the course of my college career, we watched a good amount of film. I think I definitely watched a lot more when I was first getting adjusted to college basketball, and there was just a lot more so to learn. But as my career went on, I knew what I needed to do. I knew the teams the back of my hand, things like that. So I didn't watch as much probably. It would probably depend on the game. When you get into the NCAA tournament and things like that, you're not as familiar with people, so you're watching more. But I think now in the pros, you have to watch a lot on your own, whether it's of yourself, whether it's of practice, whether it's of the game, whether it's of the other team, but also every single day I watch film with, my coach, and, we're watching offensive clips, we're watching defensive clips, we're watching things that worked and went well, and things that didn't work, and how I could have done simple things to make that work better. So I think it's a balance of you got to do it by yourself, but also there's so many people around you that also want to help you get good, and it doesn't always need to be the bad stuff too. Look at what you did well and continue to replicate that from practice to practice, game to game, and I think that's also really great stuff to watch.
Last one from Matt.
Hi, Caitlin. Obviously now an official debut in Indy. How many friends, family members are you expecting? Anybody specific, former coaches?
Yeah, Iowa coaches will be here. A lot of my family will be here. My brothers will be here. Some cousins, some aunts and uncles. A lot of people will be here. Honestly, sometimes I don't even know who's coming, and they just show up, and my mom's got them a ticket, or somebody got them a ticket, and they're just here. So, yeah, it's fun, and I'm lucky enough. This place is close enough to where a lot of people that are close to me are. So they're making the trip over and get to enjoy this moment with all of them too is super cool for myself, but I know it's super cool for them too.